I'm trying down that plane though.
Live from the Riverwalk here in San Antonio, Texas. It is DNVR Buffs Primetime. We got a lot to talk about today, and as you notice, one of our guys is missing. Let's dig into that just in a second. Let's go. Let's go.
You
squad.
Oh man, we
cave Jake. He's buried somewhere.
We told Jake he had to say Buff Nation at an uncomfortably loud level from where he is in the airport, and I think he did it.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm proud.
The muffled Buff Nation was decent.
All right, Jake. We have carved out the first few minutes of the segment. It just says allowed Jake to bitch. So the floor is yours.
Wow.
Be great, Jake.
You know, just grateful to be alive today. It's a beautiful day out here in Dallas at Dallas Love Field Airport. We had a bevy of showers earlier on, but, you know, we're doing all right. I showed up here. My flight landed here right before 10. It is now 7:38, and we board in 19-ish minutes.
All right. So let's just get can we get a stat count on everything you guys have consumed while you were there?
Sure. So for me, since I've showed up at Whataburger first off, had to, first things first, priorities. Bacon and cheese, add grilled jalapenos, fry, extra spicy ketchup, and a sweet tea. And then we got delayed twice, and we decided to go to the bar. And then I was like, well, I'll have a beer. So I had a Bud.
What?
I had a beer. I had a beer. And then I proceeded to have another beer, and then another beer, and another, up to 4. And then I got hungry again. So I went to a chicken sandwich place, got some stuff there, got one for the road too, because I don't know when my next meal is going to come. And then...
You don't know when your next flight is going to come.
He's really in the struggle, bro. He's in the struggle for real.
I needed some caffeine, so I got a Coke. That's about it. RC had a kid's chicken tenders and
RC.
2 beers.
Bro, that is the most RC shit I've ever heard. Can RC hear us?
No, but if you want him to, I can give him a headphone.
Yeah, let me talk to RC really quick.
All right.
My boy need to grow up.
What up, RC?
All right, here he is.
What up, RK?
Hey, man. One of the things that we were discussing over here is just how miserable it might be to be with cranky Jake for this many hours. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, honestly. Despite the circumstances, Jake's been in a very good mood today.
Wow.
It might be the number of beers consumed, or I don't know what it is, but Jake's in a surprisingly good mood today.
It's because he got that Whataburger, bro.
Oh.
And honestly, Jake...
It might be the Whataburger.
It might be the Whataburger, bro.
Whataburger early in the day might have done it.
Hey, Jake, bro, are you standing 10 toes down on your tweet of the top 5 burger joints, fast food burger joints, or your tweet earlier? Because you were kind of getting cooked on the replies a little bit, my boy.
Yeah, 100%. That is the correct list, the most correct burger ranking list that anyone's ever created, so please respect me.
You said that, and then you literally included a non-fast food burger place in it, and then you even rescinded that, so you can't say it was the most correct.
Well, correct with an asterisk, right? So we had to do a little bit of shuffling post-production. You know how it is over there. So.
All right. Unc, before we let Jake go, I just kind of want to do it live on the show. Will you tell him what you told us about why you're at a zero confidence that they're going to make it here tonight?
I'm going to slightly retract what I said because I thought he was at DFW.
Oh.
He's at Love Field. Airports in the same city, but they're managed a little different. Which airline are you, Jake?
Southwest.
Oh, you're screwed. Yeah, you're screwed. No, you're screwed. Chris Evans is on Southwest, and they pushed his to Friday and then sent him an email now pushing it to Saturday night.
Saturday night is insane.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But his connection was like Memphis to Houston here or something. Like his plane was Houston-based, and they got some really bad weather there. I just know what American will do at DFW. They'll delay you, and then the pilot's time out, and you have to spend the night. So if your countdown to 19 minutes is still going, you may be okay.
We're looking for my music.
You know what, guys? That is it's still accurate, the countdown. But here, look, this is where our plane's supposed to be, and there's no plane.
Oh no, you're not leaving in 19 minutes if there's no plane.
There's still no plane.
Come on, dog.
Because your plane has to land, and those people have to get off. That's not a 19-minute window. So there's no way you're boarding in 19 minutes.
You know what, Unc? It wouldn't be the first time I was lied to today.
Hey, man, all we can do over here is pray for you, and that's what we're going to do.
You're safe, Jake. You're in a safe place. I got to be honest. I'm just happy you're happy. I'm not wasting a prayer on that. I just want you to get here safely. Whether that's tomorrow or tonight, you know. Also, out of all the shit I've done in my life I need to take to the Lord, I can't take. Please let Jake get here tonight.
Can't use
I
one
just
on
want
that.
you to be safe, Jake. They're not flying because of the weather. It's not you.
Also, this is
I hope not.
This is a note for Jake and also the viewers. Jake usually makes the rundown and makes a plan for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
No. You know damn well I didn't.
This is my first show without Jake. I don't even know what I'm really doing up here.
First break is.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on without bro.
Yeah, how do you keep track of that, Jake?
7.5.
It's in the traffic log, bro.
Oh yeah, we need the ads, bro. Jake, will you text me the ads, bro?
Wait, did you guys do presenting? We're presented by Game Time and Coors Light.
No, we didn't do any of that,
Sign up
Jake.
with the promo code Buffs.
We went right to your muffled let's go.
Facts.
Honestly, like, it's
Okay, Jake, could you do it for us right now? Could you do it?
He just did.
Dude,
No,
wait,
but I was
which one?
talking over him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, welcome into the DNVR pregame show live from San Antonio / Dallas. We are presented by Game Time. Our friends at Game Time, download the app, use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, $20 off your first purchase, and you can get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart. Shout out Coors Light.
That's sick.
That dude nailed it from Love Field.
Wow.
Just because I know you have like a lot of time on your hands, would you mind just texting me the ads, bro?
You know what? I'll update the rundown for you guys.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Now that we're
What
like
a
on
guy.
the show, I'm kind of SOL. As soon as I realized we were about to let Jake go, that's when everything started hitting me. Like, wait.
Yeah, we're sitting here playing, and
Now
like,
what?
this is for real.
What if someone actually has to do a show now?
Yeah, we don't have Jake.
All right, well, Jake, we miss you and appreciate you.
I do miss you, Jake. Still not
you,
wasting a
bro.
prayer on that, but I miss you.
Tell RC the same.
Oh, I hear you guys now.
We will see you.
I didn't hear anything you just said.
Oh, okay.
We love you.
We love you and miss you.
I love you
bro.
too. And I miss you guys too.
Be safe,
And,
man. We'll see y'all soon,
I
man.
miss my friends.
Keep the comments.
Okay.
Keep the content coming, bro. We need the updates.
Facts.
I got you.
All right.
Bye.
There he is. There goes Jake.
I got to tell you guys, as Jake departs, I was feeling optimistic because, I had the airports wrong.
Right.
And I was feeling optimistic because he said, no, man, the sign says boarding in 19 minutes. But when he says, the plane is not even out there,
Yeah,
like,
come on,
dude,
bro.
you're not boarding in 19 minutes without a plane out there.
If you don't see the plane, bro,
You
in trouble.
got to see the plane. Like, that is rule one. If you look out that window, there's no plane there, that countdown doesn't matter.
It's a legit. I mean, you gotta say at least 30 minutes after
Yes.
the plane pulls up to the gate.
Yes. They got to get off. They got to clean the plane. They got to restock it. And then it's group one.
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah, that is.
My boy gonna get here though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When we got like 40, 46 hours, 47 hours.
Oh, yeah.
He's
He's got plenty of time.
Yeah,
we're not at panic time just yet.
No, not at all. He can make it.
Is Evans panicking?
Oh yeah, because they moved him to a flight that lands like at 5 p.m. Saturday.
Was that who you was on the phone with? You was like, wait, Saturday night?
Like, dude, they will be stretching on the field when your plane lands.
Hey, that's wild.
I was about to go on a kind of a rant explaining how the thing was tonight, but I think my audio is still.
Yeah, people are saying in the comments that your mic might be a little off.
Is this the right?
Yeah. Okay, you are muted right now.
Okay. Check.
While they get RK's mic situated, shout out to Peggy who's down at the bar.
Peggy actually is at the bar.
Getting turned up.
Turned all the way up. I wonder what flavor of wings she's eating.
Can we just hand me this one?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Melissa?
Yeah, maybe do that one. I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh, I'm going. Oh, this isn't working because we gotta go out and around. Where's
Yeah.
RG?
That boy lacking.
He is lacking. Hey, Terrace, can you hand this under the front?
We're getting help from outside.
Terrace Harris, shout out Terrace Harris, works with the pregame show. Well, she went the wrong way with it. Like, we wanted to hand it to him.
Yeah, now just pass it to me.
Oh, sorry.
No, you gotta go that way. Like.
Hey, the show is live, so this happens. Jake is stuck.
Oh, got you.
That's unmuted. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, they get all the behind the scenes look right now.
You do, but
Shout out to Andre Walker, who clearly is a Ghostbusters fan, because he said RK is crossing the streams, and you never cross the streams.
That's crazy. I also dropped my phone, so you're really like getting
there it
behind
is.
the scenes right here.
Wow.
And there's the mic condom.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Always practice protection.
got you. I don't know where did it come
for
off
Scotty's.
of. Oh, Scotty's. Scotty's raw
Bro,
dogging
you're
over
just
there.
raw dogging this show right now. That is insane. All right, now people can hear me better. I could hear myself in the microphone, so that sounds terrible, bro.
Sorry.
All right. So, of
Jake
everyone
says
here,
the plane is here. What an update. The
oh
plane is
my
here.
God, that's huge. I was the only one here who went to the event tonight, right?
Yeah. No, I was writing. A story.
Dude.
I said in the I'm like, it looks cracking from my balcony. It looked like
when
alive.
I read that, I thought you were like on the way down.
Oh, no.
Not off the balcony, but like, hey, let me take a look before I get on the elevator.
No. It was just like, let me take a look, period.
I just didn't have it in me, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it looked cool. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. I love the pics from the official accounts and the unofficial accounts from fans. I've been here since Monday, man. I'm bowl event outage for Thursday evening.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm disappointed for all of you that you didn't make it. Just because I think it was the coolest thing I've been a part of since I've been here. I've been here since Monday, and I've seen a few Buffs fans, but it hasn't been anything like crazy. When we got down there, it was black and gold everywhere. And when I got to the place, RG and I basically had to like weave our way through all of these people to try and find a spot. We finally got up on top of a spot, and I mean, it's just Buffs fans as far as the eye can see, man. Everyone's chanting, and then like one thing I love about Buffs fans is we're assholes. And like
it's on the bus.
BYU is not ready for that, man. They were pretty pressed about some of the things that were happening out there because like so Buffs fans are doing the "Go Buffs" and it's loud, really loud. And then like the BYU fans, there's a good crowd of them. I think it was like 25 to 35% BYU. They started doing BYU. But then the Buffs fans, just after they did that, every time would just go "sucks."
Yeah.
And like they were just like, they were kind of just shook.
Rattled.
Yeah, they were rattled for sure. And then like even as BYU brought their team and their band out there, at the end, the Buffs fans just started doing the "Go Buffs" thing again. And so then they tried to drown them out by, they had all the players and the coaches and everything doing the BYU thing, but the Buffs fans just were louder and louder and louder, and like they kept doing it longer and longer, and they just couldn't sustain. They got drowned out. So that was pretty cool.
I was just gonna say, I think one of the many cool things about this matchup in this bowl game is something that you, I think, said off the air, just about like how different it seems like these two programs and fan bases are. Like, it's really like opposite ends of the spectrum, and I feel like that's an example of it, kind of where it's like CU Buffs fans. Again, I've only been on the beat at games for a year, but like they really get into it on game day. Like they're a real passionate fan base, and not that BYU isn't. But I feel like it's just different, especially when it comes to stuff like that, when you're kind of like competing against fan bases. Like you said, they don't really know how to react to that.
No, absolutely. And then, like, they're playing some, like, I would describe it as, like, EDM music for the BYU cheerleaders. And, like, the BYU fans got pretty into that. And then they were, like, playing some, like, fight song stuff that, like, the Buffs fans were into, too, but it wasn't, like, music. And then they dropped Coach Prime's theme music. And everyone was on their feet, like, going crazy. I was like, this is great, man. It was really cool. And then shout out to Ben Finiseth, who was kind of like, CU's hype guy. He starts off by going, everyone – so they pass the mic to him last. Everyone just introduced himself. I'm Shedeur Sanders. I'm Headache Gang CEO, blah, blah. He gets to Ben. He goes, my name's Ben Finiseth. I'm single, and I play safety.
That way you deem it.
Yeah, so it was fun, man. It was really cool, and they had everyone pull up like on barges on the river.
They call them boats here.
They're barges.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what they call them here.
Yeah, that's a nice description to call it a boat.
They call it boats.
I gotta say,
we're gonna load the boats.
Y'all been here all week. I just got here to San Antonio this morning, and I gotta say, I'm really liking this city. Like the weather immediately piqued my interest, because as soon as we stepped out of the airport, I'm like, it feels awesome out here, especially for it being December. So the weather is awesome, and I just like the walkability too of kind of at least the area that we're in. Kind of downtown San Antonio. I like it a lot. I don't really got no complaints so far. I'm interested to see what this food is about to hit for, though, because that's going to be a big deciding factor. But San Antonio was impressed.
We did go to a taco shop today that Scott described as in the trenches. It was right by the Alamo Dome, and that's where we needed to go. But we walked.
Did you see a mouse?
No.
It's not in the trenches.
Nah.
We saw a lot of small dogs.
Bro, yes.
Were they being walked?
No.
You're in the trenches.
Exactly. We saw at least two just walking around, no leash, no human around, nothing.
Was one of them pregnant?
I don't think so.
Actually,
so let me tell you how you know you're in the trenches. All right? Take it from the trench master. If you see a shopping cart, but there's no grocery store.
Facts.
And if you see a pregnant dog, just you're in the trenches.
Pregnant as hell.
Yes, you're in the trenches.
I'm there.
No, these dogs were not pregnant, but they were just
with no shopping cart.
No collars, no nothing. Just
they looked
chilling.
like they had seen some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pack mentality, as Coach Sapp would call it.
Yes.
I was a little worried about them. They were nice. Nice dogs.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Anyways, we did have that food today. It was okay.
Okay.
We I think that this city is criminally underrated.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been about 12 hours for me, but I can't completely disagree with you at this moment in time.
There's a big difference between, like, do I want to live here and, like, am I happy visiting here? But, like, and I think that's probably where the difference comes in, because if you live here, you're not hanging out down here.
Right.
But when you just come for a week or even less than that,
a weekend,
this is great, because there's a lot of stuff to see. There's cool things to look at. There's nice views. They have, like, beautiful Christmas lights everywhere.
Yeah.
And, I've been getting my steps in every single day because you just walk everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't even got a chance to hit the Riverwalk yet, so I'm excited to get down there, too.
Right there. Yeah. You can see the water.
That's so dope.
That is true.
It is literally right out the back door.
Yeah, I got to peep that.
So, yeah. Unc, your thoughts on San Antonio?
I'm loving it, man. No issues with the city at all. Shout out to Charles Barkley. I haven't run into a lot of local San Antonio women to verify his theory or not.
Good point. At this point in time, I can't really corroborate our guy Charles Barkley's, hypothesis.
From a city vibe, like we get on the bus and we ride out to UTSA, Texas San Antonio, to practice. So you see some of the city then outside of downtown. Got no problem with San Antonio. Been a great place to visit. The weather, the past couple of days, Scott, for you guys, has been like overcast and so kind of cool when we're practicing in the morning, and then it, just like Boulder, changes, gets hot in the afternoon. But it's been a good vibe. The hotel
is immaculate.
Yeah. I mean, you can't walk anywhere, get off on any elevator and not see CU everywhere in lights or in stickers or in whatever. It's been a good vibe, and you cannot beat the convenience because literally as we look behind us, like we're looking at the water.
Yep.
And the boats go by. I'm going to stay local. They call them boats. I'm going to call them boats.
And a legend in the building, too.
Yeah, Peggy
off of a legend in the building. Actually,
Peggy has left the building.
She might have got up,
I think she just went into the
bar?
the hospitality room.
Oh, good. Get lit, Peggy.
Those times. She outside tonight.
Get Peggy some Chardonnay.
Get Peggy whatever she wants.
Before we hit this ad break, Alyssa, is this working now?
I don't know. Will you actually pass me that?
Oh, it sounds like it is. It is. I just tapped on it and I could hear it.
Can you
So
hear it?
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, just in case we do.
Does it
get a
need to go
guest-
back under to come back around here?
Yeah, it does. Can you mute it for a second? Or do you know which one it is?
I forget which one. Will you tap it?
Okay.
Got it.
Oh yeah.
I think you went around the pole the wrong way.
Oh, you got to go under you, out. No. It's got to go out that way. This is good stuff. All right, while you guys are working on that, I'm going to go ahead and hit this ad read. You want to get the other one? Jake sent it to us.
Did he?
Yeah.
And I think you got Scotty's cord, like you got to go under his, like you're pulling his with you.
Yep, that's what's happening.
Yeah. So you got to go back.
Yeah, you have to
Go back.
double
Yeah.
back. All right, one thing that I've learned while I'm out here is they don't live well.
No, they don't, man.
But it's not their fault. They're not allowed to live well. But if you live in Colorado, you're allowed to live well. And you got to go check it out. Best dispensary on the block. Unreal deals, unreal pricing. They got pre-rolls. They got cartridges. They got whatever you need over at Live Well. And when you use the code DNVR25 in store, you're going to receive 25% off one regularly priced item. For me, that would be a little pack of pre-rolls. But for you, it could be anything. So go down to Live Well, mention DNVR25 when you're in the store, and get 25% off one regularly priced item. The prices are already great, and you're going to get 25% off one. So hit up our friends over at Live Well.
And shout out to our friends at Bet365. There's a lot of football on this weekend, a lot of opportunity to make some cheddar. The perfect place to do that is Bet365. And the best reason is that they helping you get some bread. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit just $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well done, well done. All right, Unc. That's an event that I was at that you weren't. There's been some events that you were at that I'm not, and that is practice. So take us inside. What has been like at practice this week for the Buffs?
I thought it's been spirited. I think that the momentum from last week transferred traveling. You've had a break for a while. We got back to Boulder. We had a week of practice there. Then you take this trip out here that almost seems like the rust starts over, because there was no continuity in that. But that's not the case. I think they hit the ground here running with a great practice on Tuesday, followed up Wednesday, and got even better on today on Thursday, which is good because there's not really a practice tomorrow. It's a walkthrough at the actual Alamo Dome. So this was the last time that you could actually, simulate some thudding and get some things done and clean some things up. But I thought we had great practices, all things considered. And one thing about the tone of those practices set by Coach Prime, he's established from before we got on the plane to the first meeting here, we came here to win.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a trip. This is not a vacation. This is not fun time. We're going to have some fun. You'll be free in the evenings. But mission number one is to win the game. And that's been echoed by Rob Livingston, who every time he speaks, he's like, guys, 10 wins is major in college football.
It is.
Yeah.
Win this bowl game, and we got
is.
10 wins. No one can take that away from you. No one can put an asterisk on it. No one can say any yeah buts. You win 10 games in college football, you're on to something special. We got to win this game to not only send the seniors out right, but to set the tone for next season, because this is a team we're going to play again next season.
Yeah.
And they've already got their 10th win.
Facts.
And they're coming in and trying to get to 11, of course. I think this is going to be one of the more hungrier bowl games you see.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be some hitting out there in the trenches. I think both teams are looking at this like it's a regular season game, not a celebratory, hey, I'm just going to feel you out, you feel me out. I think both teams want to battle. I love the way we practice this week.
Yeah, I love that. Just speaking about practice, obviously some of the young guys, some of the early enrollees are there. How active and involved are they within practice with just, getting to campus and still kind of getting acclimated? Are they really kind of being thrown into, whatever, second, third scout team, whatever? Or are
Absolutely.
they kind of – can you just talk us through that?
Yeah, let me tell you this, man. This is December 26th.
Yep.
My days have been running together.
Yep.
Y'all write this
Boxing
down.
Day, as they call it.
December 26th, it is Boxing Day. December 26th, 2024, Unc told you, write down the number 98. That McPherson kid, we got something special, man.
Let's go.
We got something special. And when I tell you his just raw right out of high school is kick ass.
Yeah.
Just wait. He's got 6 months with D-Lou and Sapp.
Yeah.
Like,
And Dancy.
this dude is special. Like, and he ain't the only one.
I know.
Haven't gotten to see a lot of Juju, the quarterback. Has those two fingers kind of taped together. He's been doing like some little tossing to doing some drills, but not really any QB work. But the guys who showed up early that are in the trenches, they've been getting one-on-one work. They have been jawing back at the seniors or upperclassmen like they haven't been laying down.
I saw Chauncey talking this stuff.
Oh, man, and backing it up.
Yeah.
So I like the early arrivals and their energy, and that they're not here walking around with their heads down or like, well, I'm just a freshman, let me be quiet. I'm right out of high school. Like, no, if you walked out there and didn't know who was who, you would think they've been here a couple of years.
That's what's up. And two things on McPherson. When we did this film review, like, that was one thing I said. I'm like, these coaches are going to love how polished he is, how technically sound he already is for being a high school senior. And I think we're seeing some of that. And he can obviously play, but being so polished and technically sound is going to get him on the field quicker. And also, too, part of that is because they came from IMG and they've been coached the right way. And it just makes me think about Jordan Seaton, how impactful he is to this program, not only for the demon that he is on the football field, but for opening pretty much that IMG to Colorado pipeline that we've already seen. He started it. We added, 2-3 guys now from IMG in this cycle, and that's going to keep building and keep growing, and that's something special that he'll forever be remembered for. Just aside from what he did on the field, but just for help opening up that pipeline is huge.
And this is an off-the-field thing, but to speak to that IMG pipeline and how they're prepared there, literally my first day meeting Jordan Seaton, he walked into, of all offices, he walked into Jason Phillips' office, which when you're going down the hallway, Phillips, the receiver coach, is right before Loadholt, the O-line. So he was doing the right thing and just speaking to everybody, not just going to his coach.
Yeah.
So when he walked in Jason Phillips' office, I had the camera rolling, and I turned it because someone was coming in the door, and he just immediately engaged with it, introduced himself, gave like a shout out, and when I turned it off, he was like, "Oh yeah, they work with us at IMG on that stuff."
I bet.
And that's the same thing we do here. Like, we work with you on camera presence and being ready at the moment. And so those guys from IMG, man, they just come here and hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And again, I tell you, when you watch, and I don't know if he's going to have 98 in the fall.
Sure.
So I'll update you if the number changes.
For sure.
But right now, he's out there in 98.
Hell yeah.
And that dude can play, man.
Definitely.
He can play.
I say give him 99, J.J. Watt. Either way, man,
it'll be freed up because Coates is leaving, so 99 will be available.
Just the invaluable experience that these guys are getting. I can't believe how much we've been missing out on that at Colorado, not going to a bowl game damn near every year.
Yeah.
I really think that this is the total momentum starter for the program moving forward and for those guys' careers. And not only just for them, and I mentioned this a couple times, but for all of the freshmen who get to come in and, look at those guys and say, hey, what's the deal here? Okay, how do we practice? How do we, they get, the same way that, I don't know if you guys remember this from when you were going into college, but, you find out who your roommate is a little bit before, you send them a little, Facebook DM or whatever. That's, what these guys are going to do. The guys who are not enrolled yet are going to reach out to those guys and say, hey, what was it like? What should I remember? What do I need to know? And that just gives them such a head start. And it's different for guys that are in your class that were on your visit than it is reaching out to someone who's on the team. And so I can't get over what invaluable experience those guys are getting. I should mention that both Charlie and Ben mentioned McPherson when I asked them what early enrollee has stood out for them. I should also mention that I don't think we talked about this. Coach Prime said a fight broke out when he was talking about the early enrollees, and I think that was essentially, and he said I was proud of it, but I wasn't. And it's kind of like,
and it was in the trenches.
To me, well, that's what I was going to say. I feel like these young bulls came in and were like, just going all out.
Yeah, and it's both sides of it. They came in going all out, and the older guys were like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah,
I ain't folding. No, not to me.
Facts.
Like, you just got here.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even know your handle yet. Who are you?
Yeah.
Like, okay, good move, but watch this. So it's been an iron sharpens iron, and I'm with you on that orientation process. For them, not only back in Boulder for a week, but to learn their way around the building, how to warm up line, what time you go to all those kinds of things. Then make this and get that taste in your mouth of what a bowl game experience. You better believe they want to come back next year to a bowl game wherever it is.
Absolutely.
Versus when you had incoming classes with Coach Prime, that thirst wasn't there because you were trying to just right the ship. You were trying to just build water out. And so that year one with Coach Prime, none of those guys who got there early were thinking about, oh, man, can't wait to go to a bowl game. They were thinking about how the hell do we not go 1-11?
Yeah.
And now you have this ingrained concept of success and what it looks like, and we're never falling lower than that again.
Hell yeah.
I love it. A couple just like visual takeaways I have from walking around here. I think I saw Christian Hudson, and I mean, people have compared him to Block Bully, just in stature and whatnot, and I absolutely see that. Total fire hydrant. And then what was the other one? Oh, Carday Smith. There was a video that came out of him where he was being interviewed
at the Mississippi Alabama Bowl or whatever. Yeah,
and I don't know what was going on with the camera, but all the quote tweets were, "This guy's tiny. There's no way he's going to be able to be ready to play." That dude is not tiny
At all.
I just stood next to him in the elevator. Yeah. He was towering over me.
Yeah. He was towering over everybody in the elevator.
Like, he had a chain on, and where his chain hung down to, that was at eye level for me.
Yeah. No, he's not a little boy at all. And that's one of the things I've said before, that you won't see those comments in the videos that come out.
Yeah.
Year one under Coach Prime, all you saw was, oh, those guys are small. All their team is small. Look how small they are. Ha, ha, ha. You don't hear that shit anymore. So anybody saying that guy who said it's Shaq, I don't know who could say that he's a small guy.
Yeah. Well, and just wait until he goes through the process that Jordan Seaton went through from the moment he got to campus, from the moment to the moment that he was out there week one. And, they don't necessarily need Carday Smith to start week one the way that they needed Jordan Seaton to. But that dude, once he's in a college weight program, is going to, he's going to be a beast.
And C underwent a transformation just from when he enrolled in December, January to spring. Yep. Like, just in those 3-4 months, his body transformed. He just got so much more sculpted up top for sure. Yeah. And one just kind of maybe tying a bow on this, you mentioned the word orientation, and that's spot on because that's a word that Coach Shermer used today when I asked him about just how valuable these reps are that Julian Lewis is getting with Shedeur and this offense. And Shermer goes, this is kind of like an orientation. I love this bowl prep. For the guys who are going to be here next year, in my opinion, it's the beginning of their next season. Like Julian Lewis is a freshman. The rest of those guys are freshmen already. Yeah. Like, their college football career has already begun, and they're getting, to take in the wisdom from Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and some of those defensive lines, Shane Coates, B.J. Green, who's a future pro. Like,
I wasn't at the presser, and glad to hear, Coach Shermer said that, because it's something I've felt leading into getting back to Boulder last week, getting here to San Antonio this week, and going beyond. Everybody puts emphasis on, rightly so, you want to win your last game, whatever your last game is. Yeah. And what's interesting to me about this concept with these freshmen being here early and this team moving forward, this isn't our last game. This is our first game.
Exactly.
We're playing somebody that we're going to play again in 9 months. And then you end up facing them again in the Big 12 championship. Like, this game is for real. This is not a bowl game. This is a business trip. Here to win, here to dominate. Whatever the scoreboard is, doesn't do much for Travis or Shedeur, if anything.
Nope.
It can do a lot. I know we're going to get into it. Do a lot for LeJohntay, do a lot for Jimmy.
Yeah.
It does everything for next fall.
For everybody who's coming back. Yep. 100%.
One last thing on the young guys that I wanted to bring up, because I think this is a good segue into our next conversation. But did you see the clip of Shedeur talking about Juju? And he said, that's baby Brett Favre.
No, I didn't.
I didn't see that.
No.
Yeah, he's like, that's baby Brett Favre.
That's so dope.
And his teammates are like, why? And they're like, he's like, do you see the way the ball pops out of his hand? And that, to me, one, exciting on Julian Lewis. What a ball knower comment from Shedeur.
Yes.
I mean, Shedeur was not alive to watch Brett Favre play. So the fact that he has watched enough Brett Favre clips or highlights or whatever to be able to identify the way the ball pops off of his hand and then compare that to Juju, I was just blown away of like
elite stuff.
True like student of the game stuff. I remember, you know, Peyton Manning when he was with the Broncos would randomly reference like a quarterback from like the early 1900s. And you're just like, whoa, like, how does he, you know, he's just like, he loves the game, so he just wants to know about all of these guys. And I think Shedeur is of that ilk of just like loving the position, loving the game, and just wanting to see and know and understand as much as he possibly can about it.
A football connoisseur.
Yeah. Let me add this nugget to that, and it's not a football thing. I'm elated to hear Shedeur say that about him. I'm from Mississippi. Brett's from Mississippi. So get all that. But my biggest moment between those two this week was today. Juju is always next to him soaking up game, and they were just having a quiet moment, no one saying anything to each other. And Shedeur reaches over and pulls his hair out the back of his helmet, like, and snatches it down.
Damn,
I'm like,
bro.
you know, just the bond that they already have to F with each other like that.
Hell yeah.
And it's more going toward little brother than the little brother up to big. But I was like, man, that's cool. Like that they have reached that moment where we're standing here doing nothing, but take that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too. All right, you know what else I love?
Toyota. Your
Close.
Toyota.
Close.
Ah, damn
Actually,
it.
you know what? I do love my Toyota. I'll let you take the other one. Oh, man, I love my Toyota. It's been a while. And actually, I'm going to be away from my Toyota for like 2 whole weeks.
Damn it.
Sad.
I know. But the good news is
Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I will, because listen up. After the game, I'm flying from here to Washington, D.C. That's where Allie's family lives. And they have a Toyota. So I'll at least get,
a recharge.
some Toyota in my
life. It ain't your
life.
Toyota, but you get some Toyota.
Exactly. Maybe it has some new exciting features that I don't even know about yet because my Toyota, I'm going to have it forever because it just keeps running and running and running with no problems.
Yeah.
So shout out to Toyota, man, and shout out to the Front Range Toyotas. If you're looking to join the Toyota family, which I could not recommend more, then go to a Front Range Toyota store, including AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota and Boulder Groove Toyota and Littleton Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR.
And I have it on high authority. I've not been given clearance to report this, but I'm going to go ahead and run out there with it. That if you get a Toyota from a Front Range dealership and you show proof to RK, he will teach you the Toyota handshake.
That's
you
true.
will be in the frat. Like, he will show you how they get down, but you got to be able to prove it that it came from the Front Range only.
That's true. That's true. And yeah, I will. There's kind of a thing, you know, like
It's a thing.
like Harleys, you know, they have a thing. We have our own
Certain
thing
way
too.
you flash the lights at each other when you see another Toyota coming, but it's got to be from the Front Range.
I also own Scott just learned this about me today. I also own like a personal scooter.
Yeah.
Just learned that.
Like one of the like Lyft ones or whatever that are around. And us scooter riders have our own little thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I
wasn't clear, but I knew that I could land safely with that one.
Whole time, though, shout out to the squad at Circle K, man. They really took care of us on all of our Buff Stampedes, at least the ones that I was on. And honestly, you know, coming from the Midwest, Wisconsin, Quick Trip was my go-to gas station. Not the one with a Q, the one with a K. KWIK. And obviously that's not here in Colorado, but Circle K is kind of taking over that mantle for me, man. Download the Circle K app and sign up for Inner Circle for exclusive offers. New offers, purchase clubs, and sweepstakes are uploaded weekly, every single week. Shout out to Circle K.
Shout out to them. Love them guys.
Big shout out to Circle K. And Alyssa, I sent you one clip, and then another one is trying to send, and we'll see if it does. But we'll bring them up here in a minute. It doesn't have to be right now. So, today's press conferences, I thought were really, really good. I thought we got some amazing stuff. And I think, to me, the biggest thing that stood out is just the future for, you know, Shedeur and Travis, but also a lot of these seniors who are playing in their last game as Buffaloes. And we'll get to the clips of it in a minute here, but I don't think I've ever heard a coach like Pat Shurmur, who's not – he doesn't usually, do it for the cameras.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
That's fair.
I don't think I've ever heard a coach like that just wax poetic about a couple of players the way that he did.
He popped it today.
About Shedeur and Travis. So, Alyssa, let me know if we have that.
Let me see what this is. Did you send both of them? Or?
I sent one, and the other one is trying to send, but this one's Pat Shurmur.
Okay, I got the 226 one.
That should be it, yep. Play it whenever you're ready.
Okay.
In your contacts from the NFL call you and ask you about Shedeur Sanders, what will you tell them?
Well, I've already told all 32 teams multiple times probably what I would tell you. But, most players that make it in the NFL obviously have great skill and ability, which Shedeur has, have performed at a high level, which he does. Has a true love for the game, which he has, and then is going to be an outstanding teammate. And really, those are the four cornerstones of what makes a great pro. You got to have talent. You got to perform. You got to love the game, and that's where a lot of times, guys fall short. They don't love the game. And then you got to be, it's the greatest team sport in the world, so you have to have an appreciation for being a good teammate, whether you're a leader, a follower, or whatever. And so I've been able to just talk about, I don't think we realize how good Shedeur is, and we won't until he's gone. And I just am really, really looking forward to him finishing this thing out the right way and then watching him play at the next level and just really killing it. I think it's going to be fun for me.
Questions, middle, front, then middle.
Presumably, whoever takes Shedeur would also, in theory, have a chance to maybe make some moves and acquire a second or a third pick and target Travis. I know it sounds maybe like a little bit of fantasy football, but with the connection that they have and your experience being in the NFL, is that something that should be investigated based upon just the dynamic and the relationship that these two have?
If they could pull that off, good for them. All right, yeah, that's GM wizardry if you could pull that off. No, I have a huge respect for both players. I've told all the pro scouts, if you need a quarterback, take Shedeur, and if you don't take him, you're taking the second best guy, in my opinion. And if you don't need a quarterback, and there's some teams that don't need a quarterback, you should take Travis. To me, it's a very simple discussion. When I think of these two players, these are guys that have helped change the course of history for Colorado, Buffalo football, along with Coach Prime. And I just have a huge respect for them, and I think they're going to just absolutely dominate the next level.
That last part, which I don't know if you guys heard it as clearly as we did, I just think they're going to absolutely dominate. Again, this is a guy who spent most of his life coaching in the NFL.
Yeah.
Not saying I think they've got a great chance to succeed. I think they have the foundation to play at the next level. No, I think they're going to absolutely dominate at the next level. It's that to me, and then it's him saying, if you don't take Shedeur, you're taking the second best quarterback. I just love the confidence in which Coach Shurmur is speaking about these players.
Hell yeah. The part I love was when you're talking about he knows what a good NFL player looks like, right? Again, you talk about him being coaching the NFL. He wasn't no analyst necessarily. He wasn't no coordinator, although he was. This man was the head coach, right? And he's talking about what makes you obviously got to be able to play the game well. You got to have talent. You have to have a love for the game, right? But you also have to be a really good teammate, particularly at that position, at quarterback, right? You have to want or make teammates, offensive linemen block for you. You have to make your running back step up in pass protection, make your receivers go up and get contested catches and make plays on the football. You do that by being a good teammate day in and day out. And that's what Shedeur Sanders is and has always been.
What, bro?
This man RG pulling a Whataburger. But Shedeur just never, ever, ever gets enough credit for the teammate that he is, and we'll get to it. Maybe that's the next clip. But, he was asked about, his receivers in camp, the pitch he would give to NFL teams. And he didn't shortchange anybody. He went in depth on every single body on how they can help, a team at the next level. And that's what a good teammate is. He's obviously a hell of a player, but he might even be a better teammate in person, for real, for real.
Yeah, as it relates to Shedeur's ability to succeed at the next level, which is the NFL, or Travis's ability for that matter, but just dealing with Shedeur first because that's the subject line. I think something just happened in my personal life sitting here, listening to Coach Shermer, listening to you two. I've officially gone to water is wet and the sky is blue on this subject.
Yeah.
Because it's like, shit, man, what more do I have to do to prove what is so obvious to you?
Yeah.
Like, you have seen this now for 4 years of college ball. You've seen it in the SWAC. You've seen it in the Pac-12. You've seen it in the Big 12. You've seen him win the Unitas Award. You've seen him do it on 4th down with the clock on 0. You've seen him do it in overtime. Like, what more do we have to say or show you if you're one of these? And we're not even really talking to 32 GMs. I appreciate Pat saying he talked to all of them. But you're really talking to 3,
Facts.
right? Like, this guy's going to be gone in the first 3 picks. What more do you have to see for you to understand that this ain't somebody that's going to be available in the next draft or the draft after that or the next 19 drafts?
Facts.
Then you get to the Travis side of it, since he talked about both of them. If you are a current GM, you're probably age 35 to 70. Mm-hmm. You won't see it again in your lifetime.
Nah.
You will die before there's another Travis Hunter.
Before there's another chance to get him on your team.
So it's like, literally, guys, like, why do we have to keep, not y'all, the world out there, why do we have to keep saying water is wet? Fat meat is greasy. Like, Shedeur Sanders is that damn good.
And I think that's why Coach Shermer's comfortable coming out and just being as, open and forthright as he was those comments today. Because it's like, wet, if you don't believe that, we don't think the same anyway.
No, like,
I
could understand that you're thinking of things like about your particular organization, because as he indicated before, everybody doesn't need a quarterback.
You're right, yeah.
I get all that. But if you are in NFL football and you need convincing of this, you shouldn't be in NFL football.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in college football and you need convincing of this, you shouldn't be in college ball. Like, have you not watched the tape?
If you need convincing, it's because you've fallen victim to the bullshit online.
Yep.
And
if you fall victim to bullshit, you shouldn't be leading the organization.
Exactly. But I think there are GMs out there. I mean, we just found out. Actually, no, I'm not going to go into that because it's too close to home when it comes to what teams we're talking about here. There are GMs out there doing really dumb things. And so
let me say this about GMs doing dumb things. Pardon the interruption. If you're that dumb of a GM, I don't want to be with your organization anyway. Like, so thank you for being dumb.
I didn't want to name it.
Thank you for being dumb. Like, if the Las Vegas Raiders, and I don't care how people feel about tanking or not tanking, when your season is done, your season is done. You got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
If you care enough about one more game winning right now than you do having the number 1 pick, I don't want to play for you no way.
Well, and some of that
Same
is
thing
just
with
the
the
players.
I get it. No, I get it, dog. I'm not picking on nobody.
Yeah.
I'm
true, though.
Thank you. It's just true. Like, if that's the philosophy, maybe that's not where I want to be.
No.
Yeah.
Because that philosophy doesn't match what I'm about. Yeah. And so sometimes people will show you their hands and the way they navigate things or say things. You'll be like, well, man, I appreciate knowing that now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But now that I see that, let me think things differently. And I said this in that interview with Coach Prime. Final point to it for me. If people in the GM, player personnel space, draft decision space, don't know how you think, they're crazy, because look how you manage your team and your son is on that team. Mm-hmm. Why would you allow Shedeur or Travis to go somewhere where the ancillary things around them are not supported? Shedeur ain't going to a team that doesn't have a good quarterback coach. Like, before we even get to who the OC is, what else helps the quarterback? The O-line in the run game, the receiver room. They're going to be looking at all of that before they tell somebody, hey, don't pick me.
Yeah.
I ain't coming.
Yeah.
Like, all of that could matter. And no matter how this thing falls, because as Pat Shermer said brilliantly, everybody doesn't need a quarterback. He will be the best quarterback in the draft, whether he's first, second, or third. Because there could be a situation where the first team is just not palatable for him to want to go to. And he ends up being the second pick because that's where he wants to play.
Yeah.
But it's not because he's the second best.
Absolutely. And I guess here's my main takeaway from this and just what really hit me while I was listening to Pat Cook today. Anyone who has been close enough to Shedeur Sanders, and when I say close enough, I essentially mean like as close as we've been.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in the meetings with him every day, but people who actually have got to know Shedeur Sanders,
Definitely.
people who have seen the way he works, they talk about him in that way. And it drives us crazy when people talk about him
Any other way?
in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And as Pat Shurmur was up there and I was thinking about what you talked about with his experience in the NFL, I was thinking, but think about who's actually talking right now. Because this is the person that the Shedeur Sanders hater would love to tell you is not going to be here for this or that or the other thing. It's an old, white football coach who's been around forever.
Yeah.
He's coached Nick Foles and Case Keenum and all of your standard, whatever you want to call them, quarterbacks.
Yeah, dude.
What people think of, is the right way to play the position, blah, blah, blah. And that's who's up there telling you, if you don't pick this guy, you didn't get the best one.
Yeah, man.
And that is what that clicked for me today. I was just like, it doesn't matter who it is.
Mm-hmm.
If they've seen it and they've been able to be up close and personal with Shedeur Sanders, they know that he's him.
And again, just hell of a point. And when I was sitting there listening to you, it made me think too. It's like Shedeur has pretty much been coached by his father his entire life, and the fact that he was able to very quickly gel with Pat Shurmur, again, who has all the experience that you just put forth, and make that marriage really work. And again, you hear Pat Shurmur talk about him like they seem like besties, like they real tight. And again, that can't be faked. And that's something that, again, it takes two to tango in terms of both of them had to be willing to build that relationship. But again, I feel like if you're an NFL GM, if you're thinking Shedeur can make it work with Pat Shurmur, he can make it work with anybody just about.
And he's made it work every year with a different coordinator.
100%.
Because he's the professional in this.
Yes.
That's not saying that his OCs were not.
Yeah.
I'm just simply saying you're not dealing with a typical college student. You're dealing with a professional because he was raised by a professional athlete.
Yes.
And he's been groomed and wanting this moment, and now he's ready for this moment. And again, like I said before, here's where I am with it. From now to the draft. Water's wet, man. Yeah. Fat meat is greasy, and the sky's blue. Like, I just ain't got damn time for it, man. Like, I'm at this point, Noah building this ark, and the rain has started. Like, hey, you getting on or not?
Period.
Because the sermons are over. Like, when the water get up to your damn knees and waist, you're going to be knocking at the door, but we're not opening.
And that Noah's Ark analogy that Coach Prime used was crazy.
It's spot. It is spot.
Yeah, it really was.
Last thing here on Shedeur, and I sent you the next clip, Alyssa, is the way that he spoke about his teammates today. And just from the reaction I've seen from this clip being out online, it opened a lot of people's eyes into who he is. Because, again, if your last name is Sanders, you only care about yourself, according to some people out there. And so I think hearing Shedeur unprepared, off the cuff, talking about every single one of the guys that was up there on the podium with him, struck a chord with a lot of people. That I posted the clip and it's blowing up, and a lot of the quote tweets are like, "Man, I'm starting to like this guy." And I'm like, "You're late," but
I've been hearing that a lot about Coach Prime too. A lot of people are like, "You know what? Coach Prime is actually dope. Good for college football." Yeah,
welcome.
Don't say.
Welcome to the fire. So let's hear what Shedeur had to say. This was pretty cool to watch him talk about all of his teammates like this. Whoever drafts you might be interested in adding some of these guys next to you to the team. Would you mind going through and just, if that team asks you, hey, what do you think of LeJohntay, Will, Cam, or Jimmy, what would you tell them?
So for sure, LeJohntay, for sure he's going to get open. He's a threat all over the field. And it's hard. I haven't seen too many receivers get in and out the breaks how he do. And man-to-man coverage is very tough to guard him because I'm like, after some plays I ask him, I'm like, dang, bro, I didn't know you was going to get open on this. You feel me? Because it's not supposed to be there, but you still made it happen. So that's for LeJohntay for sure. Will, definitely 50-50 ball guy. And I feel like I know how to get him going. I know how I was gonna say something, but I know I was gonna say something. But I know how to turn that switch on for him. Whenever through good, bad, through everything, and he overcame a lot this season. So at a big stage, and you understand it's not a lot of people and not a lot of players in college football that goes through as much pressure as playing for the Colorado Buffaloes. So he dealt with pros, he dealt with the cons of everything, so he's level-headed and he understands each and every game I got to go out there and make a big impact. So definitely going to go up and get the ball, go and make plays, and I don't really call them 50-50 balls. It's kind of automatic, you know. Cam, for sure. I don't really like going against him that much. So, but Cam, he's going to do his job, and he's Mr. Consistent. So that's probably the most consistent players we have. Everything that he does is consistent. The way he practices, the way he goes about his business, and we've been doing that since HBCU. So it's like it's no level or anything that could get to him. It's nothing, fame, lights, money, it's nothing that could get to him because we all came from that same area, that same challenges, the same journey. So we're almost the same, I say. But he's just on the defensive side of the ball. He's the quarterback of the defense. Jimmy Horn, he's definitely fast. Jimmy, I'm real disappointed right now because Jimmy was playing through a lot of injury this year. So I take that personal that he wasn't able to get the numbers and able to do what he was supposed to do because we had big plans, big everything with him and Amarion. So that kind of really hurt me, I would say, and he hasn't been able to show his best yet. So maybe it's not, the perfect time right now for him to hit his peak. Maybe it's, year 3, year 4 in the league, we on the same team for him to really maximize his full potential. But he's able to get open. He's able to, when he's healthy, he's very unstoppable, and it's tough to guard him in man coverage. So any one of them I'm excited to play with. I really hope it happens, I really hope it does. Because I know them, I know everything about them. So I'm just, who knows? I'll be excited for it, though. But I'm definitely pulling for him, though. I definitely am.
Appreciate your time, Shedeur.
There you go.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. Just listen to him, bro. And he mentioned this recently on some podcast or some appearance. I can see him having a general manager future. Being an NFL GM if he wants to someday, because the way he can just identify talent and what guys do well, what guys don't do well, how to get the best out of guys. And again, just hearing him just give that off the cuff kind of analysis of 4 of his teammates, he could definitely be an NFL GM one day if he wants to. And I think he wants to.
I'll give you another, write this date down. Boxing Day.
December 26, 2024.
2024. No matter who drafts Shedeur Sanders, there will be someone else from the Colorado Buffs on that team.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
At least. So that is going to happen. The influence that the franchise quarterback has on an organization and within an organization, you don't pay a guy first round, first pick money to not listen to him. To not say, hey, man, what do you need to be successful? What all can we do? Walk through the building. Do you not like that chair? Yeah. Does this urinal need to face the other way? What do we have to do so you can be who we believe we drafted?
Hell yeah.
And so the power that they wield within that organization from day one is tremendous. And after that first pick, that first phone call, when they're officially part of the organization, you better believe when they get ready to pick a running back who may be good at chip blocking, a tight end, or a receiver, who are they going to call and get on the phone to?
Exactly.
The new starting quarterback.
And again, when he was talking about Jimmy, too, I'm like, he's so football savvy, where he was like, Jimmy's been in and out of the lineup, and it would be kind of crazy to expect him on Saturday after months off pretty much to be at his full strength and hit the ground running on Saturday. He said pretty much it might take till his 3rd or 4th year in the NFL to really hit his peak, and that happens. Like, that's a common thing among NFL players. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, especially if you've been dealing with injuries, and that just makes me think like his football mind is just on a different level.
Absolutely. And
I think that there's a very good chance that Shedeur Sanders will be with the team that he's on.
Mm-hmm. Now, that one's going to happen without a phone call. That one is going to happen just like, all right.
But I think Jimmy or LeJounte, I think there's a good chance of that as well. Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen is they're going to talk to him about him, and he's going to tell them all the things that he just told them.
He's not going to be lying either.
And what else is going to happen is they're going to be sitting there, and they're going to say, all right, Shedeur, we're about 5 picks out here. Jimmy is still on the board.
Yeah.
Should we go get him? And he's going to say, absolutely. Go get him.
Yeah. And that same thing is going to apply even more so in my mind to Will Sheppard, and I'm going to tell you why. LeJounte and Jimmy, you've seen what they can do.
Yeah.
Will truly hadn't had that breakout, moment yet in this thing. We are live. And so what's going to happen with his size, with his Vandy film, because this is not an annual award.
True.
Right? You're drafting somebody on their entire resume.
True.
And when you see what he did at Vandy, what he was able to do here highlight-wise, and his potential, because let me tell you something, an old coach told me, guys, can't teach height.
Facts.
You either 6-something or you ain't. And that dude is long, and when it's back pylon 50-50 ball time, the NFL is going to like that.
Happy holidays.
Young coach. What's the word? Good to see you.
The young coach.
Yeah, man. Somewhere they're going to end up, and then I was thinking about this too, when Omarion Miller is coming out.
Yeah.
They're going to say, what do you think of this guy?
Yeah.
That's going to continue happening.
That's a great point.
It's a cool thing to see. All right, let's move on here into the questions.
Do we have to? Could we just stay like at this moment and bask in it and not move on?
Hey, real spill, though, y'all probably already know this. LeJounte Wester is my favorite Buff of all time.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
I love that guy. I love his game. I love everything about him. And if him and Shedeur end up on the same NFL team, I'm immediately a huge fan of the NFL team. I really don't care who it is.
I will tell anybody out there that if you like LeJounte Wester and you want to love him, just watch the gift exchange. Because his commentary during the exchange, now he's not mic'd up.
Okay.
He's like, oh, man, that's love. That's love. That's love. But
I did hear that in the one clip.
Oh, my God, that was him the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he could be like, yeah, I got you these Air Force. Oh, man, that's love, dog. Y'all don't understand. That's love. Like, shout out to LeJounte Wester.
I love that guy, man. And again, just a vocal leader, too. Like, he didn't have to do that. Like, his game speaks for itself. Yeah. Like, he's noticed a kind of a vocal void in that receiver room this year, and he was more than willing to take it on. And guys like Will Sheppard, who has played years of college football, was more than willing to, kind of allow him to take over that leadership role, at least a vocal leadership role in the room. And, man, that's an NFL player right there, man. I can't wait to see what he ends up doing in the league.
Before you steer us out of here, I know you're taking Jake's role as the guide rail.
I feel like I've done a pretty good job.
You've done an excellent job. Like Jake, who? Look at this. Look at this. This bowl game, Travis Hunter, Will Sheppard, LeJounte Wester, Jimmy Horn, all healthy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you have planned out there in America, 6:30 Central PM, 7:30 Eastern. If you want to see some entertainment, like, you're going to literally be watching the best receiving core in the nation with the best quarterback in the nation, all healthy in a game.
And the best individual player, too, by the way.
Yes. Like, come on, man.
And indoors, by the way, which usually leads to a little extra speed.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, we've talked about with season openers with Shedeur, coming out of a bye week Shedeur, when you give that man extra weeks to prepare for an opponent, to prepare for a defense, I feel sorry for said defense.
Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah. And he talked today about, how he knows they're going to throw some different stuff at him. This is crazy. Tomorrow is the last time we'll ever preview a game that Travis and Shedeur are playing in.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That makes me sad.
Thank you for making me sad. I hadn't considered
Well, when you said, can we just stay in this moment, that's when that started hitting me. All right, let's get to the questions. Hear what the people have to say.
First one coming in from Marcus. He says, how is San Antonio treating y'all?
It's good. No complaints.
It's pretty nice, man.
I'm
liking
hungry
it here.
I'm looking forward to our dinner because they already had dinner.
That Whataburger smells fire, too. I'm not going to lie.
So the way we're sitting here to the audience, kind of this crescent moon, so I trust you fully because my back is to just wide open.
Yeah, I got you.
I've been assuming the whole time he was just sitting behind us.
Yeah.
Then he walks up with a Whataburger bag, tosses the super dope producer some fries. I'm like, these dudes are eating.
It's crazy.
Unreal.
Shout out to that's a big ass Whataburger around the corner. Like it's huge.
Wait,
yeah.
So it's not on the Riverwalk?
No.
But it's just right outside.
Yeah, it's street level where you and I ate the other night, like on that street, Commerce Street, I think is the name.
I like to become, part of the underground when I'm here. So I just been only on the Riverwalk.
I will say this
to
the question about San Antonio and the Riverwalk. There are times you just got to walk street level.
Yes, we experienced that on our way back here from the rally.
I was meeting him for dinner last night, and I took the Riverwalk directions, and I just had to go up top because it was so crowded. No, it's so crowded, and then unless you're going to get in the water and swim, you have to go at pedestrian pace. And so I have walking rage. I don't have driving rage.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Scare the hell up. Y'all 4 people walking 4 wide. Walk single file.
It'd be that many people. Like it'd be.
Oh, it's packed. It was Christmas night and it was packed out there.
Like you should have seen us leaving this rally, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like we were actually having to weave our way through bumping into people the whole time.
And we still had some of that coming back last night. Then it thinned out. We had to weave.
Yeah.
Go to the street, much wider. Not as scenic.
But
you'll get there.
You don't get to feel like a Ninja Turtle.
Donatello.
Just my opinion says, who's most improved, Unk?
In what regard?
I can't remember the text.
Oh, the most
most improved player on the team this year. Let's go with that.
Yeah, boy,
dude, it's like I don't think anyone had that much of a needed upside where you can just walk away with that award. I think everybody got better with coaching. I think the D-line as a unit exceptionally got better, but I can't say that was individual growth as much as it was they were being coached on how to work together.
Yeah.
So I don't have a single guy most improved. I really don't. Because everybody hit their expectations in my book.
This might be cheating a little bit because we don't have a last year to build off of, but we do have a spring game to build off of. I think I'll go with Jordan Seaton.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly I got to go with him too because just being a true freshman and starting all year.
Yeah.
But didn't he live up to his expectations?
Yes,
though?
but from the spring game, there were people were worried.
Yeah, particularly the first damn play.
Yes. Right. And so when he got beat on the first play of the spring game, people were like, this is the guy we're counting on
I
to
hear
hold
you
down
put
the
me in
left
the
side.
corner and say I got to pick one, it would be that. But to me, having seen him practice, that was an anomaly, not his norm. Yeah. What you're seeing now is his norm, and he's still growing, in all aspects of the game.
If I had to pick one, it would actually be somebody completely on the opposite end of the spectrum of Seaton, an older guy who, in my opinion, improved from last season to where we stand today, and that's Levante Bentley. Obviously, he was in and out of the lineup a little bit last year, and obviously he's played a ton of college football, right? But I feel like he became such a consistent presence, consistent leader on that defense. And that obviously helped change really the makeup, the outlook of that defense, from last year to this year. So Ben would be my guy.
Right. And what if they tell us it wasn't about players, it was about food?
Most improved food in San Antonio.
Chef Solomon really stepped his game
crazy.
up.
By the way, Chef Solomon is here, and Coach Prime invited basically a lot of the staff from back there, and Chef doesn't have to cook.
No.
So Chef's just out here cooling, man.
Love that.
And I just love it for him. Every time I see him, he's just smiling ear to ear. When I saw him, he walked in here. He's looking around. He's like, "This is so cool." I was like, "Yeah, man, it's pretty
he's
cool."
definitely walking around smiling.
He's living the life. It's great.
A couple people are asking. Regina says, "Will DNVR be having anything on Saturday?" And King Mars wants to know a tailgate or meetup location.
All right, so no, we're not having a tailgate. It was just too expensive for us, which means it was going to be too expensive for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you this. Tomorrow night, around this time, we will be at Mad Dog's, right outside.
It's right there.
And we might be there tonight in a little while, depending on how the crew is feeling. And then Saturday's interesting, but I think we're going to scout some spots out, and maybe we'll be back there Saturday before the game because obviously we've got all day to prepare. So we'll be there for a little bit. But, tomorrow night, let's call it 9 o'clock. We'll see you guys at Mad Dog's.
Say less.
And it is literally right outside the back door of the team hotel.
Yep.
Like connected.
Talk of the Town podcast wants to know, can any of the 25 freshmen play?
No. I actually didn't know. I mean, I'm new to this. If you guys didn't know.
I got it.
I've never seen that happen in any other game.
I got exposed to it when Shedeur came to Jackson State. And, we had that COVID year.
Yeah.
And he couldn't play that spring. He could go to practice. He could do things like that. Same thing like when Shiloh transferred, which is what all brought up Coach Prime's famous quote, made more famous because Colorado's a bigger school, you better get me now. Because those guys were actually enrolled in Jackson State but could not participate yet. They could practice but couldn't play. And there's some rule out there that you can't just be in school. You got to have some kind of amount of hours behind you before you can participate in stuff. And so these early enrollees, they satisfy the criteria of being able to practice, but they haven't reached the threshold to play yet.
Love it.
Okay, Super Chat, starting with East Coast Kev, $20. Shout out to DNVR Uncle Neely in the chat. In case some of you didn't know, former Eagles player Deshaun Jackson is the new head coach for Delaware State.
That's correct.
Could this be the added coach that Prime was talking about?
The added coach on our end? No, that wouldn't match. The question doesn't match because he got a job somewhere else. As Coach said in my sit down with him, there are going to be some staff changes. People are going to elevate out and people are going to come in and move around in. So you get through this bowl game, say to about mid-January, I think you'll start hearing some stuff announced.
Love it. Has there been any? Never mind.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, have there been any hints?
I wouldn't say like direct overture kind of hints. But here's what I know about Coach Prime. Let me answer it this way. 2 years in a row at Jackson State, undefeated in conference in the conference championship, and made staff changes.
Yeah.
Because I think people hear him, but they don't believe him. If we ain't dominating, it ain't good enough.
Thanks.
Like, he will reshuffle the deck. Like, that doesn't mean somebody gets put out, per se.
Yeah.
You may just be better suited over here, and I put you over here. There are going to be changes because we didn't dominate every game.
Yeah.
And that's how his gold jacket mind, we're dealing with a Hall of Famer, and the standard is the standard.
So I think the only way you're getting Coach Prime entirely happy with everything is undefeated national championship with an average margin of victory of like 28.5.
And then he'll still say, dog, that grad assistant who put the socks out, he didn't put them out. They were turned the wrong way. We got to make some changes, dog.
And that just made me think about Coach Shermer kind of gave some insight into – he was at his daughter's wedding a couple years ago when Coach Prime called him and basically asked him to come on board as an analyst and play a role in helping Shedeur, kind of get eyes on him at NFL level. But right there is what you're talking about. Last year, obviously, they had some opposite of success, some losses, obviously, that piled up. But moving on from Sean Lewis, when a lot of people thought it was unpopular, to go to Pat Shermer, when a lot of people thought it was unpopular.
They thought it was unpopular how Warren Sapp.
And we sit here now on the verge of a 10-win season.
Yeah.
Kind of knows what he's doing, and he's not afraid to push maybe certain buttons that other people wouldn't or wouldn't even dare to even think about.
I don't have enough fingers to tell you the number of times he's done things I wouldn't do, and there's been absolutely the right damn thing to do.
Yeah.
Like when the proof comes out.
Yeah, right.
And the Sean Lewis thing needs to be discussed at length on a different show, but like it was a circus and it's a clown show and all of this bullshit, from friends of agents. And it was just, there was such a lack of knowledge of what was actually happening there.
It's like someone is pulling the tarp.
I know. Like, is Archie down there just tugging?
I think there's a midget. I'm sorry, a little person. They're just tugging the damn tarp, man.
A super chat from Laura, $50, says, in Amarillo, see you tomorrow. Sorry we missed the rally. Buff Nation showed up. Going to find Team DNVR tomorrow night so I can buy underground drinks. What a moment to be a Buff fan.
Might go get an underground drink right now.
Yeah,
Shout out, Laura.
Another super chat from Jamie. He says, Cash Cleveland, most improved.
Oh, good one.
Last super chat here. FPSD says 54, most improved and surprising.
That's a good one, too. Philip Houston, that's a good one.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Philip Houston, man.
Hell yeah.
His demeanor before we left, walk around the building, Mom was in town with, he can't wait to get back,
I bet.
I love that.
I've never seen an injured guy smile so much.
And he also could benefit from the JUCO ruling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, there you go.
That's it?
That is it. All right. I think we did okay without Jake.
We did. Shout out to Jake. We miss you. We love you. Hopefully a plane arrived and you got on it.
Yeah, man. Hopefully see you soon, broski.
I just made up the rundown on the fly.
You handled biz,
this
bro.
This is what we should talk about.
You handled biz.
So now you get to question Jake, like, what do you do all day?
Yeah.
I just did it on the spot. Why does that take you so long?
He's going to hate that.
For real.
I got to tell you this story. Because Coach Prime set me up like that one time. So we had some different, almost like here, but different formations in the video department at Jackson State. So Prime called me in his office one day and he's just like quizzing me, but not like in a rude way, like I'm trying to learn. He said, man, so when you leave practice, like how long does it take you to do that such and so video put out? I said, man, probably 30 minutes after practice in. All right, so when you do the team meet stuff the next day and I see that, like that takes about an hour or so. Then he turns to the other guy in the room and was like, dog, Neely said take 30 minutes. You give it to me like, I was like, oh my God. I didn't know I was setting somebody up. Damn. He did it in front of him.
I know the whole time dude is probably looking at you like.
Yes, but I didn't know. Because he's like, hey, Neely, come here. Let me ask you something real quick. It's like, oh my God.
Damn.
Like, dude.
You're like, Coach, come on, man. I got to work with that guy.
I didn't have to much longer, but
oh man! All right,
I just see this comment from Steffi. It says Chicago loves you guys so much. I'm in Chicago, Auntie. Shout out you, Auntie. Shout out Chicago.
Chi-town.
Best food city in America. I said what I said.
Ain't getting no argument out of me.
None. New Orleans second, if not first.
All right, fair enough. A worthy competitor. We'll be in New Orleans actually.
Yeah. I've been in New Orleans once and I enjoyed my stay.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow. Come meet up with us tomorrow at Mad Dogs.
Yes.
9 o'clock.
It's right down there.
And if anything changes, we'll keep you guys updated on social media. But we appreciate y'all's support, and we'll see you tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Shout out, Jake.
We all silly like the mayor.